YouTube, welcome back to another classic episode, this time of the Madden 21 franchise featuring the Dublin Shamrocks. Now, we didn't make the postseason and it's time to go into the offseason, but let's check the Pro Bowl roster before we do anything. You're probably wondering, how many guys did we actually get in the postseason or the Pro Bowl roster? Well, the answer is not a lot. So we can go through these really quickly. Again, no sign of Cole Cook, obviously. The running back spot, I'm a little mad that we didn't see Thad Lindley, but again, he missed a lot of time and didn't have that great of yards. Again, sub 1,000-yard season at about 10 touchdowns. It's not enough to get him into the Pro Bowl, but next season, if he stays healthy, I think so. Wide receiver spot, we had nobody. We see Michael Thomas, DK Metcalf, Justin Jefferson, N'Keal Harry, Adam Humphries are all out there killing it. Keep moving on. You can see that our lone guy that made it to the Pro Bowl this year is going to be Ali Marpet, who's the guy that we traded for, and honestly, I'm happy that we have him. We have him under contract for another season or two, but go through the rest of the roster, and there is no sign of a Shamrock anywhere else. I think this will change going into next year, but when you lose a lot of games, a lot of your guys have subpar production years, it makes sense that you don't really have more than one person on the Pro Bowl roster. And go ahead and check the awards. Your NFL MVP ends up being Will Hall of the Tennessee Titans. I believe that's their quarterback. So Wilson finishes behind him, with Hayden Hutchinson, the quarterback a lot of you guys talk about before, going third. Your coach of the year goes to Griffin Murphy of the Patriots, who finished 14-2, another incredible year for them. On the AFC side, to go through it quickly, Will Hall wins your Offensive Player of the Year. Defensive Player of the Year is CJ Mosley. Your Offensive Rookie of the Year is Will Hall. Again, Rookie of the Year and MVP, this dude is probably going to be a stud. Your Defensive Rookie of the Year is Isaiah Childers. You see your best quarterback being Patrick Mahomes. Best running back is Aaron Jones, who's now in the Patriots. Wide receivers Adam Humphries, who is first team All Pro Bowl. Best offensive lineman is Quentin Nelson. D lineman Chris Jones. Linebacker CJ Mosley. Defensive back Tre'Davious White. Best kicker, there are people too, Josh Lambo. On the NFC side, again, you're not going to probably see many Shamrocks in the top spot. This is on defense, but Russell Wilson is your Offensive Player of the Year. Defensive Player of the Year is going to be Deion Jones. I mean, we can check his stuff, but I feel like Reuben Foster got snubbed. He ended up getting third, though, which is still a heck of an honor. Offensive Rookie of the Year is Jimmy Weber. Again, a quarterback a lot of you guys eyed in the previous draft. He's done really well so far. If we have anybody actually here? Nah, no one there. Defensive Rookie of the Year, we have no one there as well. But you see the guy that wins it is Miles Beckham from the Bears. His quarterback is Jimmy Weber. Cole Cook actually finishes 7th in that list, which is surprising. As running back is going to be Ezekiel Elliott. And Lindley finishes 7th, just like his teammate Cole Cook in his category. As receiver is Michael Thomas. As O lineman is going to be Zach Martin. As D lineman is Kenny Clark. Linebacker is Deion Jones, with Reuben Foster finishing 2nd. As DB is going to be Mike Hughes of the Vikings. And then we also see Trey Sanders make an appearance on the list, which is great news. And kickers, because they're people too, Randy Bullock wins that award. So we're now at the spot where we can re-sign our players one last time to see if we want to lose anybody or keep them on our essential roster. Xavier Edwards is a cool running back we found, but we didn't need him, and I think we'll be fine without him. Ron Payne, we do not want to lose, and again, we tried to sign him, but he's not interested in signing with you, so I think we're going to try to go ahead and lock him up with the franchise tag. It could be $21.2 million, which is a lot, but I'd rather try to work out a long-term deal, and if we can't, then we trade him next season. Morgan Moses, we hate him. A lot of these guys we don't care about. Aaron Colvin, I think we want to try to keep him. He's 31. It's a one-year deal. I'm okay with having him just as in terms of actual depth. He's not going to cost us a lot, so $900K for a signing bonus, bumping it up a little bit. He ends up coming back. Tim Settle, defensive tackle, 70 overall, 26 years of age. I'm okay with him coming here as depth. We'll do 1.3 million, 0.05. See if we can sign him for that. Got him back as well. The rest of these dudes, nah, we're good. So free agency is here, and man, there are some big names. Josh Jacobs, a 96 overall running back, is available, but again, we got our running back of the future. We don't need him. Singletary's there. I mean, these are some young guys. Him and Jacobs are both 25. Le'Veon Bell, a little bit older now with 31. Corey Littleton, a right outside linebacker, could fit really well with our team, even though he's a little older at 29. Brian Burns is here at 25 years of age. He should command a good salary. There's some people we're going to explore and see who we can get, and then I'll catch you guys up here in a second on who we ultimately pull. So in free agency, we try to get a lot of people, Corey Littleton being one of them. Couldn't get him. Try to get a right tackle. Couldn't get him. We paid top dollar. They just didn't want to play for us. So it is what it is. But did get a 33-year-old Patrick Peterson, because our corner spot is a little hurt right now. Emmanuel Mosley also playing corner, because again, we need a little bit more depth there. And then Lauren Duvernay Tardif, you also got as a right guard, but I think we're going to put him in right tackle because we got rid of Morgan Moses and we currently have no one to play right tackle. So regardless, we'll plug and play him somewhere. I just don't know where it is just yet. From a league signing perspective, you see Josh Jacobs go to the Jets, Devin Singletary goes to the Falcons, Le'Veon Bell goes to the Cardinals, Corey Littleton, the Falcons, instead of coming to us, even though we paid just a slight little bit underneath that, the Falcons were a better fit for him, so he thought. Ryan Burns to the Chargers, Noah Fant to the Texans, Marcus Davenport to the Bengals, Greedy Williams also to the Bengals, Dalton Risner goes to the Panthers, Von Bell to the Raiders, and again, you see where a lot of these top names ultimately went. Some people would have made sense. We actually tried to get Rob Havenstein. That was the guy we tried to get. He went to LA. They paid a little bit more than us, but it is what it is. What can we do? Still, I feel like we got a couple of holes pretty much plugged for our team. There's just a lot of work in the draft, and we got to draft properly or else we're in trouble. And so, ladies and gentlemen, we have made one of the biggest trades in Dublin Shamrock history. Cole Cook is gone. Trey Quinn is also being packaged with him at a 7th round draft pick in this year's draft, the 2nd overall pick in this year's draft, along with a 6th round pick in 2024. This is a monumental moment that will either pay dividends or get me fired. One way to find out, we got to find Cole Cook's replacement. The number 1 overall pick has been made by the 49ers. It is Remy Spikes. So that means we have a quarterback of our choosing to now pick. Cole Cook is gone. We thought he was the guy, and unfortunately he was not. Or maybe he was, and we just traded him. We'll find out eventually. But for now, it is time to choose our quarterback of the future. Who's it going to be? So there's really 2 guys that we're looking at right now. You have Justin Leach, who's essentially listed as the top rated quarterback, 6'2", 227 out of Ohio State. He's got A+ throw power, A break sack, and A- throw in the run. His 20-yard shuttles top 3. He's got bench press top 5, but he has nothing else top 5 from that, with a solid combine report. The guy I think I'm going to take, though, is out of Virginia Tech. We've got Rashawn Dorsett, a little bit taller, 6'4", about the same weight at 228, and a little bit younger. First in the 40-yard dash at a 4.43 at QB. That's fantastic. Bird jump is 3rd, broad jump is 6th, 3-cone is 1st, 20-yard shuttle is 1st, and bench press is 8. He's got A+ throw power, A throw in the run, and A throw accuracy deep. This is a tough one. As we sort of go through and look at what's essentially on the list right here, again, Justin Leach, Rashawn Dorsett are the guys we just looked at. Tremaine Murphy scored really high in terms of his, combine report at 7.0. He's just behind Rashawn Dorsett on a lot and beats him in some things, but he ultimately is listed as a 2nd rounder and not a 1st. As we scan through, we've got Mr. Mahone, who's 6'7". You got Calvin Brown at 6'6". I just don't know if I can really risk anything, but there is this dude, Tyson Taylor, who's a little bit slower at a 40-yard dash. His vert jump is 1st, broad jump is 2nd, 3-cone is 3rd, 20-yard shuttle is 4th, and bench press is 1st. This dude could also be the guy. He's, as a 7th rounder, could be going in the 1st, could be going anywhere, honestly. We don't know where he's going to be picked. That being said, he seems like he could be a really good quarterback. I think the guy we have to go with is Rashawn Dorsett. This is our guy we're going to hang our hat on. He's tall, looks to be pretty fast, got a good vert jump, he's got a good 3-cone, so his change of direction is probably going to be good. John Dorsett, you are franchise quarterback for better or for worse, and he's an 81. And he's wearing number 7 like Mike Vick at Virginia Tech. I'm here for it. Now, it says that we've reached. He's ranked 6th in true value. We can draft him in 2nd. I feel like we're splitting hairs at that point, but an 81 overall, 98 throw power, 88 deep accuracy, 79 medium. Okay, his short accuracy is trash at a 71. Throwing the pressure's an 80, play action's an 80, throwing the runs an 88, breaks action 83. His speed is a 92, his acceleration is a 96, his agility is a 90. Please have a good injury. Injuries a 95. Juke move's incredible, toughness is solid, stamina's great, spin move is hot garbage. Pairing's really bad at a 57, so he might be fumble prone. This guy looks like he could be the truth. We're back up here, pick number 13 and make our selection, but look at who just went before us. Cordell Stewartson, a wide receiver from Colorado, 84 overall. The last Cordell that came out of Colorado was a quarterback, and he was nicknamed Slash, and he was a stud. And it looks like Colorado got another big-time player that's about to make some big-time plays. Now, for the number 13 overall pick, there's an incredible wide receiver here, Gabe Wilcox, but again, we don't really need him because we have a couple of guys that are already good at that position, and I don't want to log jam there when we have other positions of need. Matt Harris, the left outside linebacker, is interesting. But as I scrolled through here, we saw Dwight Bonds, we saw Jerry Harrell, a really good free safety, Mr. Mahone again still on the board, and Lacey. But what we got to is that there are 2 middle linebackers here that are pretty intriguing. Neither of which, though, we technically need. I mean, we have Reuben Foster, we've got Glenn Walls. Like, I don't know if that's a position we desperately need, but I also think, and maybe we trade this first round pick that we have and see what deals are really available for us, because there's not something that we desperately need to take right here, right now. So I'm looking through the trade options that are here. We got the Bengals offer us a second this year, and then a third and fourth next year. The second and seventh next year with a fourth this year. Seattle's giving us a second this year, and then a second and a third next year, which is so far the best trade value that we've sort of seen here. And then really outside of that, there's not a lot to love. Nothing really of value this draft, which seems to be, again, a fairly deep draft. Kansas City offering a first round pick, but they're slated to be a late first round pick, so basically a second, with the 2023 pick being trash. Browns are giving us something interesting here. We get their second round pick, but it's a late second round pick, and a second and a fourth next year. Honestly, I feel like Seattle has the best option. We're getting 2 seconds and a third, one of those being in this draft in a fairly decent slot. Seattle, we're going to take your trade. We did find a guy here that's slated for a late second round with our second round pick at 13 overall. I think could be pretty interesting. Good combine grade. He's top 10 in everything except for bench press, so he's apparently not going to be very strong. He's first in 20-yard shuttle, 3-cone, and broad jump, with a pretty good 40-yard dash and a pretty good vert jump. E- pursuit, B+ awareness, B tackle. I don't know how this guy's going to pan out, but we'll take one last look to see what else is available. So looking at what's available basically around him, there's not a lot above him that I necessarily love. Some players that, again, aren't great. Calvin Brown was, again, the top quarterback or top prospect available. Below him, though, again, a wide receiver. You got Kyle Royals, who doesn't have a great 40-yard dash. His vert and his broad jump are solid. A- catching, so that's really good, actually, for a corner. Man coverage is really good. Play rec is pretty good, or actually really good, too. I don't know if I'm willing to take him over position of need, which is right outside linebacker. So Jamison Biddle, taking a gamble on you. That's not horrible. He's ranked 29th. We got him at 45. This is good value. 73 overall. We'll see what he can do. 86 speed, 90 acceleration, hit power, tackle, not exactly the greatest. Pursuit is okay. Awareness is pretty solid. His agility is really, really high. His jumping's good. I wouldn't call this an incredible draft pick, but it's a solid one that we can live with. With our second pick in the second round, which we got from Seattle in that trade, I like this kid, John Meekins, a strong safety, who's projected as a third rounder, but his true talent was actually a late first rounder. I'm intrigued though. He's a little short, 5'11", 203. He's older at 24 years of age, but first in 40-yard dash and vert jump and bench press, third in broad jump, top 10 in 3-cone and 20-yard shuttle, A hit power, A tackle, A- pursuit. This dude sounds like he can bring the force. He's a little bit older, so we'll see what he is, but I think if we're going to fill that strong safety spot, John Meekins has to be that guy. So let's draft him. He's rated, isn't he better than our quarterback? He's ranked number 5. He is. He's ranked number 5. Our quarterback was number 6. We got him at 59. 91 speed, 81 zone coverage, 87 tackle, 85 pursuit. Acceleration's not great, but it's okay. Man coverage is absolutely terrible, but he's playing strong safety, so I don't care about that as much. Hit power's an 88. 95 injury, 84 stamina, 82 toughness. So his stamina's not great. Catching's actually really good at 72 for a safety. This is major. We needed this, and we got it. So first pick was amazing. Second pick was kind of solid. This pick, best one we've had so far in this draft. So the draft is officially done, and this is an absolute W. We got our quarterback of the future, potentially in Rashawn Dorsett at 81 overall, with the fastest speed I've seen from a quarterback possibly ever. We got Jamison Biddle, a right outside linebacker who should be killing it for us. I think he'll be solid in that spot. We'll give him some time to grow, but again, the speed, the acceleration, all those things are good. John Meekins was the pick of the draft, though. As I thought the quarterback was going to be it, but John Meekins, 82 overall, 91 speed. Acceleration is a little bit slow, but again, he has hit power through the roof. He should be a stud. He ended up getting Denard Wilkinson, a right end from Nevada, in the third round, 70 overall. Again, not terrible, solid value. And then we got Tyquan Cunningham, a defensive tackle, in the 6th round at a 62 overall. Doubt he plays much. He'll be a practice squad guy probably, but still, this is a draft that had value, and we found it. To give you guys a snapshot of where a lot of the players fell that a lot of you guys love. You see Remy Spikes again going 1st overall. Rashawn Dorsett, we picked 2nd. So Bryce in the corner ends up going 3rd. Eldrick McBath ends up going 4th, and he was an 84 overall. So I would imagine the top player in the draft, if we had to guess. Phillip Bush, the right end, goes there. You see where the quarterbacks went. Justin Leach actually goes to Pittsburgh, so a good spot for him. 74 overall. You see Zach Hopkins, the left outside linebacker, 84 overall to Tampa Bay. We got another 84 overall. Again, we saw Cordell Stewardson previously. Pete Madden, a 72 overall, goes to the Vikings. Dave Wilcox, that stud wide receiver we saw, 73 overall. Any other major ones that we see that really stand out? Let's just look at the top players overall in this draft. Give you guys a sense. So Eldrick McBath, Zach Hopkins, Cordell Stewardson, John Meekins, Nate Cleary was drafted in the 4th round, 24th overall pick, was an 82 overall and a right outside linebacker. And Remy Spikes is up there. Rashawn Dorsett, Bill Cooper, a halfback from Arkansas, goes to an 80 overall to the Dolphins. We saw Joe Bryson again earlier, the 3rd overall pick, 78 overall. So the Dolphins drafted incredibly well. Kyle Royals, I'm pretty sure we looked at him at one point in the 2nd round, but we didn't take him. I think we traded out of that spot. He ends up being a 78 overall, so that would have been probably a really good pick for us to take. Larry Lewis, Oscar Stamper, Tyson Taylor, also out of JMU. So him and Remy Spikes played in college. Tyson Taylor was 5th, the 5th round, 18th pick overall, 77. There was some major value in a lot of these later rounds. I mean, we're seeing some studs. 3rd round had a 74, 2nd round was 74, 6th round Tyron Lockley, a corner, ends up going 74. There was some deep value in this draft. The good news is we found a lot of it. We just only missed on maybe a pick or two. So to give you a look at what our starting lineup looks like coming into this next season, there's a lot to prove, but an 85 overall is not bad. We've got Rashawn Dorsett at quarterback. We've got Thad Lilly at halfback. Bronco Barnett's going to be playing fullback, but also backup tight end. We're going to let him try to be in the offense as much as humanly possible. Aaron McLaurin's our number 1 wide receiver, 90 overall. Gallup's still there to 88 overall, coming off that torn labrum. He should finally be healthy now. Deontay Arnold will be our number 3 guy at a 79. Offensive line, we've got Pounds at a 73 again. He's a 2nd-year player now. He's coming along just fine. Ali Marpet at 89. Chase Rouillet at 75. Brandon Scherf at 89. Connor Williams at a 77. We also have Duvernay Tardif, who's basically a backup for anybody right now. So if one of our guys gets hurt, he can essentially spot in. And then again, OJ Howard will be our starting tight end for this season. On defense, a lot of familiar faces. You can see Mr. Fuller. We've got Biddle at right outside linebacker, Foster at our middle linebacker, Hamilton there at our left outside linebacker with Walls behind Foster. We have John Meekins at strong safety, who should be an impact player from day 1 for us. You're going to see down here, we've got Trey Sanders at starting corner, Montez Sweat at right end, Deron Payne at defensive tackle, Jonathan Allen defensive tackle, Chase Young at left end, and Patrick Peterson are our starting corner number 2. Corner's going to be a little tough, I'm going to be honest. We'll eventually get ourselves another corner to go along Trey Sanders, but for now, that's what we're dealing with. It's not that bad. There's just some holes we still got to work on, but I think a lot of our guys can step up and be big players this year. So you've seen our roster. There's been a ton of movement, and I'm really excited to see what you guys ultimately think our team is going to do this year. Cole Cook had a lot of problems, and we've got a new guy in there to hopefully take over. If he can, then well, maybe Jalen Hurts. It's about time that he gets an opportunity to shine. But still, a rookie quarterback is always tough. But if people stay healthy, particularly Thad Lindley, our receivers, and that offensive line, I got a good feeling about what we can do week 1 against the Giants. Next episode, it's coming soon.